All right, Nick, we're live.
Woohoo!
What's going
Party
on?
time.
Oh yeah, here to talk about Kolchak, the Night Stalker. Now, I found Kolchak when I was in like late high school or whatever. It was on Netflix, and I just decided to watch it. I found it through that means. Where did you first come up on Kolchak?
I probably YouTube. I think I first saw it on YouTube when I would go look for just random B movies. It was probably on someone's playlist, and I had no idea what it was. It was just another B movie. Then I learned later on that it was like this popular movie of the week TV movie, and they made a series out of it.
Oh yeah, ran for 20, 22 episodes. The TV series did.
Yeah, they kind of lost a little bit in the TV series. I think it was good, and then it kind of like
It had that definite steep decline.
it didn't translate. They had a hard
No,
time keeping it going.
yeah. Well, anyways, here we got the book. We watched the film, and Pope Mortem's in here. He says, "Nice suit." I say yes, but in a minute this jacket's coming off because it's 85 degrees in this house.
He's dressed like Kolchak.
You know that if you watch the film.
In case anyone's wondering, where's the picture of him? Well, this kind of has a picture.
There's Darren McGavin himself.
Spitting image, man. Spitting image.
Ah.
It's good.
Well, let's just jump right in. We'll talk about the film and then how that kind of compares to the book as we go along. So first thing in the film is a shot of Kolchak's tape recorder with the opening narration. It goes right into the first murder of a girl named Cheryl Hughes as she's walking home. Let's see. Kolchak, he gets on the scene. He's going to investigate because everybody at the newspaper where Kolchak works, the Daily News, they think it's just kind of a run-of-the-mill Las Vegas killing. It's a story that will go no place. But Kolchak, his girlfriend, Gail, get the last name. She was a friend of the person who was killed, so he's talking to her, getting some details. Stuff happens. And then just through here, like, stuff happens. And fairly soon, a second body is found. And this is when it gets like really compelling because the second body is found in the middle of what's a sand pit, essentially, where they're building the foundation for a new high-rise building. But there are no footprints surrounding the body, which means that it was thrown from the lip of the construction site into this pit without anybody going down there, 20 feet from the edge.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this bit when Kolchak pulls up on the scene in this convertible. He just like, slams on the brakes, wheeling, and then the county, the sheriff, he's just like, "What took you so long, Kolchak?"
Mm-hmm.
It's like
flat tire.
Bit where it's this good bit explaining Kolchak's relationship with the law enforcement in Las Vegas and in the county, but also that Kolchak is not really as smooth as he thinks he is because that's just a really lame response to the question. And Kolchak, he's writing up this story. Vincenzo's giving him an earful about saying like some sort of superhumans out in Las Vegas doing a bunch of killings and trying to make connections between the two murders that aren't in evidence quite yet. And here we learn that Kolchak was once a big city reporter. He's in New York, he's in Washington. Well, those days have come out, but he used to be a big shot, and now he's just kind of a nobody in a small Las Vegas newspaper. And then in the credits, that's the end of the first segment.
Because you're doing it by the commercial breaks. He's breaking it down by the commercial breaks. So
what do you think so far?
So the beginning, as much as I love this movie, I always dislike the beginning when they have the doctors over looking down at the woman, but they're looking at the camera, like the circle shot with all the doctors.
Oh yeah.
I for some reason I don't like that shot. I don't know. It bothers me. But so
bothers you because like it's cheap or it's just like
I don't know.
A bunch of eyes staring at you.
I guess it's just something about it. It's not very compelling to me. I'm not like, what's going on? I'm like, this is annoying. Like, put the camera on top. I want to see what's going on. So So when I first saw, so it's hard to say this because when I compare it to the book now, but I've seen it a bunch of times before I read the book, and I always enjoyed Carl Kolchak, his introduction,
Mhm.
his character, how pushy he is, his relationship with the local authorities, and the I don't know. It's just kind of it's quirky, I guess.
Mhm.
Like when they say the first woman that gets murdered that she was, which didn't they say she's like a karate expert or something?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like she was a black belt or something because he goes to talk to his girlfriend and she's like, "Oh yeah,
yeah.
she took all
Brown
these
belt in karate.
self defense classes." He's like, "She was a brown belt." So yeah, no,
But yeah, because
it's
yeah, because even in the book, it's got that section where Jeff Rice is writing from Kolchak's notes this recreation of the crime that was the first murder, and it's got all this detail about it, like what kicks and stuff she's using against the vampire,
yeah.
and it's like you. It's weird because the book is half normal prose fiction, half this sort of true crime documentary type,
Mhm.
which is not unusual. Michael Crichton does that a lot in his books, like Congo and The Great Train Robbery. He does that, but it's sort of things like you can't possibly have deduced any of this information, and yet you're putting it in this book, which is written on the auspices of being true to life. Like it's got these weird breaks in it. The book does.
Man, I love the beginning of the book. I love how it's that Jeff Rice, the author of the book, this book here, is writing it from Carl Kolchak's notes that he gave him. So the author is in the book as a
Yeah,
character. I love how he makes it sound like it's like you said, a true crime. And it's not like that. I don't think the movie has that same feel.
no,
The
not
movies is more like it's like a reporter telling you the story.
yeah.
And even though it's like kind of the same thing, it just feels more real in the book.
I think so. In my personal opinion, like the book feels real to the detriment of the story. Right, and we'll get more into that, but it's just like Cole in the book. Kolchak is always kind of like on the hind foot, catching up with what's happening. I
Mhm.
think one of the good things Richard Matheson did in writing this movie is that he's like, well, Kolchak is just going to be on scene when this stuff's happening. Like
Right.
he's going to be the guy getting his feet on the ground and the pavement and like actually searching out the information. He's the point man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I didn't think about it like that. I thought about it in the book he comes off more like a old private investigator.
Hmm.
I think like he's drunk a lot. He moves slow, he's overweight. I just imagined him like you would in a an old black and white movie with like his fedora like back on the end of his hat and his like tie kind of messy and kind of sloppy looking, alcoholic. And he's not like that in the movie. In the movie, he's very with it. He's got a lot of
Yeah,
energy, and he's like you said, right at the front.
yeah.
He's
He's
on
very
top of things.
Darren McGavin does a good job in presenting Kolchak. He's very proactive, but yet Kolchak is kind of scummy. Like he's not
Oh yeah.
exactly on point with other people. Like he just doesn't get what the other guy is thinking.
Hmm.
But like still, he's pushing through and he's making things work.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not. He doesn't have very good social skills, but he knows how to
No,
play. He does know how to play people, though.
yeah, that's one of the good things too, because like uh, Kolchak as a character in the book and in the film, he's not a likable person, but
Hmm.
yet everybody he meets wants to do him favors.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like even Vincenzo, who he has like the most openly antagonistic relationship with, is trying to give Kolchak the leg up.
Uh huh.
Which in Vincenzo's mind that means like suppressing Kolchak's instincts to fly off the handle.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead because let's.
no, no, go ahead.
I'm. Yeah. If I just keep going, I'm just gonna keep. I'm just gonna keep saying the whole thing. I know you have. You wanted in the sections.
No, I mean, we can go off and do whatever. Say what you want to say.
I was going to say that in the movie, the way that Vincenzo is described, Vincenzo's introduction, where he's like this, like horrible person, you know, that's just constantly on Kolchak's back and stuff. And then you watch the movie and you're like, actually, like Vincenzo is kind of keeping him in line. Like he's not
Yeah,
holding him back at all. He's like, you're going to screw up your life. Like, what are you doing? And you need like real proof. You can't just be putting this stuff out here, man.
that's
And
one of the things.
in the book, he's
Yeah,
the
like
opposite. He's exactly how
yeah,
he's described in
yeah,
the movie. He's terrible. He's like,
yeah.
yeah, he's like a terrible boss. And there's more than, and then this makes sense because book to movie, because in a book you can have as many characters as you want. You don't got to pay all these extra people. So of course they're going to
Whittle
narrow it
away.
down.
Yeah.
So actually, Vincenzo in the book is just a small part of all the terrible bosses there are. Like
Yeah.
he has many people holding him down in the book, but
Yeah, there's
in
like
the
3 or 4
movie,
people in the chain of command at Daily News, all
mhm,
giving Kolchak a piece of their mind in the
yeah.
book. It's,
But in the movie, it's just Vincenzo, and really
yeah,
Vincenzo doesn't even. I mean, he's a good guy. He's not bad at all.
yeah. Because that's what, because like the book is totally Kolchak's point of view, even though it's Jeff Rice working from Kolchak's notes. Everything's being filtered through Kolchak, who
Hmm.
after this case is like an old and embittered drunkard. You know, like
Hmm.
he's really bitter towards everything. So like I think that kind of skews his description of Vincenzo in the book. Is what's going on there. But like in the movie, it's a bit more objective because you're getting Kolchak's narration, but like you can still see what you can see as the audience member. So like everything
Oh,
comes up a bit more unbiased, and you can see
that's
what the
true.
deal actually is.
Yeah,
Even though Kolchak, you understand, has a completely different view of what's happening.
yeah. I guess in the book he says that he's not. He's that Vincenzo is actually his friend, and he's stuck up for him before.
Yeah, I think there's a couple mentions of that.
Like right when he's introducing him, he's like, "He's terrible. He's terrible. He's terrible. I shouldn't say all these things. Sometimes he's my friend, but he holds
Yeah,
me back."
that's well, okay. Well, we'll move on to the second piece. Oh, I forgot about the 2 things in the first part. Kolchak, he goes to meet with his buddy in the FBI, and he posits this: the killer is an insane person who believes that they are a vampire. And he
Mhm.
wants his buddy in the FBI, Bernie Jinx, to make some calls and check up around the country to see if there's anybody about the place who kind of more or less fits this crazy vampire description. Kolchak is not yet on the trail of thinking, okay, this is real. Like there's an actual real vampire somewhere about the place. He's not there
Mhm.
yet, but he's investigating it from a psychological angle. He gets a Kolchak. He's a after his meeting, he gets a call, and there's been a bunch of blood stolen, and that stuff happens. We open up the second segment, and it's the coroner giving his report to the district attorney, the chief of police, the county sheriff, and and the FBI liaison for Las Vegas. Kolchak, he starts spouting off about this crazy vampire man theory, and he gets shut down pretty hard. There's a media blackout where they're not allowed to talk about the fine details of the murders that have been happening. There's another bout between Kolchak and Vincenzo because Kolchak's wanting to just bust everything wide open. He's like, I'm going public with everything, and Vincenzo's like, no, you're not. Like, we're on a blackout, and if you open your big fat mouth, I'm the one that's getting in trouble. So,
Yeah, frying on the griddle.
yeah.
That might
At
be on the
that time, at that time, there's a 4th victim, but this time there's a witness, so they end up getting a picture of the guy, and they get that out on the newspapers and everything. And then it cuts to the vampire, and he's in the middle of this casino looking at his picture, this recreation drawing, and the newspaper's like, oh man, something's gonna mess up. He's walking through the casino, people are giving him the side eye because like, who's this jerk coming through here? He corners this woman in a side alley where she's parked her car. She sicks a dog on the guy, and this guy just picks up the dog and he breaks it.
Oh yeah.
Like, brutal. Anyway, she screams, ah! And we assume that there's a 5th murder happening.
Uh-huh.
And that is where it cuts off. What do we think? Because that's pretty close to the book. I mean, it chops two different scenes together to get the end where he goes after that woman at the car. But that's pretty close to what goes on in the book, almost exactly.
Yeah, you have the man on Carl's back, Carl wanting to tell the people what's going on, and the FBI guy, Bernie, is on Kolchak's side. He's a friend of his, which he has a lot of friends, and you don't really get the backstory as to how Carl would be friends with the FBI guy, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just assume like being a crime reporter.
Yeah.
Like they would meet that way, or maybe it has something to do with when Kolchak was working in some other city. Overall, I don't really need an explanation for that point.
Yeah. Yeah. In the book, they're closer friends. Like Bernie goes up to his house and they like drink beers and stuff, which is funny because it's in the book, but they keep mentioning it in the movie where he's like, "Oh, you're drinking my beers," but
yeah, there's that weird aside
from the book
of the narration in the coroner's report scene where like it just cuts to Kolchak and he's got this smug look on his face. He's like, "This is a lot of polite talk for somebody who's swizzling my beer." I was like,
yeah. No, I love it. I really like the DA, even though he's the bad guy.
Oh yeah.
I just I like the way he really seems like he is in control of Las Vegas, right? He is like he knows how to handle Carl. He knows how to handle like the different police factions. I read this book about Sonny Liston, the boxer Sonny Liston, and it was about his supposed death. And he lived in Las Vegas at this exact time. So there was lots of like reports of the society and the world of Las Vegas at that time. And apparently, at that time, the police, like the city police and the county and all that, they were like at a war with each other. They did not get along. And so I thought that was kind of interesting. In the book, there's lots of that stuff. There's lots of stuff that was mentioned in that Sonny Liston book about also the stuff where Kolchak is like, oh, it's definitely a white guy, and then he talks about the segregation of the city, and that was really heavy in that Sonny Liston book too. So I thought that was really cool that obviously Jeff Rice lived in Las Vegas, and
Jeff Rice. Kolchak might be a little bit of a self-insert because Jeff Rice was a crime reporter in Las Vegas at that time. At the time the book was written.
Oh, really? I didn't know he was a crime reporter. I knew he lived in Las Vegas, but
yeah,
that's interesting.
I think so. A lot of those fine details of what makes Las Vegas a city, like shine through in the book because, like Jeff Rice just knew what he was talking about. So, like when he's got the scene where the chase is happening, and like they go from this street to this street, and they turn the corner and they're over here, it all lays out.
It does.
Jeff Rice just knew,
and I think that the environment in the book is better than in the movie. In the movie, it's what you would think it is. When you picture Las Vegas, that's what you imagine, the strip, all the lights and stuff. But the Las Vegas that's in the book is more of the actual like people who live there, it's not the
glitz and glamour and lights and everything.
Yeah. Even though actually I don't know if they really mentioned too much of that in the book, but obviously they got it in the movie because they got a film there. It's, what are you going to do? Film an alley in Las Vegas? I guess they do that too. That scene's coming up, but spoiler alert. What are we talking about, Levi? Where are we at? I just started talking myself into a hole.
We were talking about.
Oh, So the second part is him, the blackout, and then he gets trying to write the story. So this is the part where is he researching? Does he get the book from his girlfriend yet?
That's coming up in the next section.
Okay.
Because like Kolchak, he's on the case. He's moving, but he's not really piecing everything together yet as to what is going on. But we can move into the third section now. So the third section opens with that quote where Kolchak's quoting the the famous editor about like where a journalist fits into society. You know, the world is flat, quote. Vincenzo and Kolchak have another butting of heads just to reestablish it. Like Kolchak wants to bust this thing open. Like he's trying to figure it out what's going on. They go to the used car lot where it's been identified that the culprit, the vampire, is bought a used car in order to get around Las Vegas discreetly. He's got that whole scene trying to. It's establishing that the vampire is using disguises to get around without being noticed, and that he has lots of money to throw around to just get whatever he wants. Is what's being established there. It cuts to a scene between Kolchak and his girlfriend Gail, where she starts listing off all the places Kolchak has been fired from. I got written down as like twice in Washington, 3 times in New York, twice in Chicago, and 3 times in Boston. And Kolchak says, "I'm going extinct in my own time."
Yeah,
that's what he said. And that's when Gail brings out a big heavy stack of vampire books, because she knows Kolchak is trying to run with this psychological vampire story, but she's bringing out all these things about folklore and mythology about real vampires.
Yeah,
and it's not this scene where Kolchak really starts to believe the vampire reality, I don't think, but like this is where he gets the first inkling that okay, maybe this is going on.
right. He
and the
thinks
book
it's
is a lot
joke at
sooner.
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he laughs about it at first.
And then right before it goes to commercial is when the vampire shows up at the hospital to steal all that blood. The nurse finds him, goes screaming down the hallway, brings in the orderlies, and there's a fist fight.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's action packed.
Oh yeah.
So is that the next commercial break right there?
That's where it fades to black right there. I
think
it doesn't go. An orderly, a hospital orderly goes flying out the window, fade to black.
Oh, okay. So okay. All right, I got you. So yeah, I mean the vampire stealing the blood and kicking that orderly's butt is awesome. That was cool.
Oh yeah.
I think that was the first is that the first true bit of action they got going on?
Yeah, because the first burglary at a hospital, Kolchak gets just told over the phone. But this is the first time we actually see the vampire in action, busting heads.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So he gets the book from his. Okay, so
that's a major difference between the book and the film, is where Kolchak is getting the books and the background knowledge from.
Yeah, and the character of his girlfriend is different also.
Very different.
She's a professional in the book, and she just works at the casino in the movie.
Does she?
Yeah,
because I think. Do they say that outright? Because I think like they're just going like everything they can possibly do to show that she's a prostitute without actually having to say it out loud.
They do make it pretty ambiguous, but I believe he says when he introduces her that she's a casino employee.
Okay.
I mean, it's just real quick, but you never see her working or anything. You never see her doing anything.
Yeah, because she was co-workers with the first victim. That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's all kinds of hints that that's not actually what's going on. Because like in that scene, like when her and Kolchak part ways, she says, "Oh, I see him," and then just walks away. Who's here? Like if you know, then all these little hints start popping up, but it just goes unnoticed otherwise.
I thought that the relationship of him and that woman in the book was much better drawn out. I liked that they weren't like dating. I guess in the movie, it says it's his girlfriend, right? In the movie,
I don't think that it said explicitly like this is my girlfriend Gail, but like that's the relationship.
I guess in the book it comes off as like these two kind of down on the bottom individuals that found each other. They're just kind of like they hang out and with benefits, but they actually care about each other, but they're not together. They're just both at the bottom. They're both two like kind of desperate, I guess, kind of people, and I just really liked that relationship that was in the book. that it was more drawn out, more explained than in the movie, where it's just like, oh, here's my friend, here's this girl I know at the casino, and she seems to know something about him, but it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't really go that much into it.
I actually preferred the film version on this, just because like you could actually see her more, like just being in the scene while Kolchak's doing something else, or just griping about his job or whatever. Like just actually being able to see like the two of them in the same space, I think did more for that relationship, because she doesn't really do anything in the book.
Yeah, she does. When he has all the people over and they're doing the research,
I mean, that's
there. She takes care of that.
That's like half a dozen other people already doing. I mean, like thematically or emotionally, she doesn't really do anything in the book aside from just being there. In the film, and this will be a spoiler. Well, we're talking about the whole film here. So spoilers are off the table.
Yeah.
When she's given the bum's rush out of town at the end, the same as Kolchak is getting, and like he cannot find her again. Like that has a more thematic point in showing like how Kolchak's whole world is smashed down to zero. You know what I mean? And, like it's given more relevance in that point than is in the book, because in the book when they part ways, it's just he's being rushed out of town, and she's of course going to stay in Las Vegas, and he's like, "Hey, could you sell all my furniture?
Yeah,
and return my library books?" And you're like, "Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Hold on, I got to throw this jacket off. It's 1,000 degrees in here."
I don't know. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this one. I like the book version better. Yeah. It's crazy how similar the book and the movie are, but how different they are too.
Oh yeah, like there's different points in here, like even just like when Kolchak gets the first call about the vampire struck, and that's this scene where he goes to where there's an actual witness that saw the vampire, and that's where they get his picture. Like he's running the red lights and like doing that illegal U-turn. Like that stuff explicitly mentioned in the book, as Kolchak saying he had done. Like I made an illegal U-turn here, and then I ran a red light on this street. And I got over. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's like weird fine details like that in the movie, but then Richard Matheson, the writer of the movie, thankfully like truncated scenes down to like just a few pieces of dialogue to kind of clip it along.
Oh yeah,
which I think kind of helps everything just boom, boom, boom right in a row.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you'd have to, or else it'd be a mini series.
Oh yeah. Well, there's parts of the book where I could not focus on what was happening, because it would be the introduction of 4 different characters all in a row, all with first and last names and occupations, and like, whoa, pump the brakes. I gotta slow down for a minute.
I know what you're saying, and usually I'd be all with you, but for some reason I really liked it, and it made it seem more realistic.
Well, it is newspaper style, because if you're reading a newspaper article,
yeah,
it's just like this person, this name, this is their age, blah, blah, it's going to be that kind of bullet point list of details.
Yeah,
I think in the narrative, it kind
of. I think as far as like the atmosphere of the story of what you're reading, that it feels like it's written like a true crime story, right? Yep. This is exactly how if it was a true crime story, it would have their first and last names, who they are, where they worked, and I just thought that was I don't know, it just brought it more to life. Yeah, but obviously they're not going to do that in the movie, because how are you going to bring everyone's first and last name up?
If you're going to do that in a film, it would be a found footage movie about like a TV journalist. Like Kolchak would be your like 9 o'clock news guy or whatever.
Right, it would be one of those mockumentaries.
Yeah, yeah. So it works. It just doesn't work for me. It's like the true crime stuff. It just glazes over me. I don't. It's not my bit.
Yeah, I can't stand true crime, but I like this fictionalized version of it.
All right, wow. We need to get more of this for you. Then we need to find a true crime about Bigfoot roaming around. Find one of those. You'll love it.
I'm sure that there is. There is more fictionalized true crime. If not, start writing them.
That's pretty much. But anyway, we'll move into our next segment. It picks back up with the brawl at the hospital. The cops show up. They're outside tangling with the vampire. Kolchak's on scene, snapping his photographs, getting everything on film. Vampire gets away, and there's an unfilmed chase sequence where this guy's outrunning police cars and dodging through different streets, and he's losing them. He comes back the next morning at the DA's office where they're giving a briefing to the different newspapers in town, where they have ID'd the suspect. The vampire is a man named Janos Skorzeny. And they go into this whole thing like he's this Romanian count. Well, that's not, they don't call him a count in the film. That's just in the book. But he's this rich Eastern European guy who is at least 70 years old at the time of events. And everyone's like, 70 years old? It's not possible. Well, you know, Kolchak, he kind of gets into another bit with the authorities. Like, this guy thinks he's a vampire. But, you know, they shut him down. Kolchak goes to Eli Wallach, the actor. He's playing blackjack, and Kolchak's like, "Here, repeat it back to me." And he's hiring Eli Wallach to go to the different real estate agents, see if he can track down if anybody's seen the picture of this Skorzeny fellow, if this guy's bought a house, because he has to have a base of operations somewhere. Okay, they go, and then he has a conversation with his girlfriend Gail, and she's just sitting at a table knitting. He's still not convinced of the vampire reality. Like he's still like he's almost there. He's just like, I don't want to think that's real yet. Like I'm almost there, but I don't want to picture it. Skorzeny, he gets cornered in the suburbs. The police jump on him. They get into this big fight in a swimming pool, but it's also not, because Skorzeny tanks 30 or 40 rounds from the police, and he escapes over a wall, and he's gone poof, off into the night. There's another meeting. Kolchak slips in right at the tail end in order to give the DA, the police commissioner, and the sheriff a piece of his mind. And he says, "We need to carry holy water and crucifixes, and
he's a real vampire.
Take this guy through the heart." I mean, it's a whole. It's great.
Yeah.
Kolchak seems oddly smug in that scene. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but they decide, yeah, okay, Kolchak, we're going to follow your advice for now, but if you're wrong or something goes south on this deal, you're out of town. You got 12 hours to pack up and go. You're going to get out of there. Kolchak, he's like, cool with me. He's giddy as a schoolboy. He goes out, he's clicking his heels, singing a song about how he's going back to New York, baby.
Yeah.
Jumps in his car and is scared to death by Eli Wallach hiding in the back seat. And then he finds out Skorzeny has a residence. And Kolchak's like, okay, I'm going to go. And fade to black. That's where we're out.
All right, so start back where we started. Okay, so the fight outside of the hospital.
Yeah,
that was great. That was the high octane action where these cops are like shooting at him, and he's running through, and there's motorcycles flipping over. It's very, very 70s. What year did this come out? The movie 78,
1972.
Oh wow, 72. Okay, yeah. Levi does look very dapper. He's got his Kolchak suit on. I'm dressed like Levi, in case anyone's wondering. So, what was it?
1972 is when this film came out.
Motorcycle? I don't get it. Now they're all here. They're just late.
Yeah, now they're. Who is this respectable looking gentleman, and what happened to Levi? All right, lay it on me. Come on, let's have it. Let's hear it. What's that? More from the peanut gallery. Come on.
Well, you do got it coming to you.
I can't say no.
Motorcycle. Oh, motorcycle. Yeah, I guess I did. You know why? It's from the. It's a. What was Woody Guthrie's son? Arlo Guthrie. Did he sing that song? I don't want to something. I just want to ride on my motorcycle. I don't know. Something from my past that just stuck. Shut up, Jake. Nobody invited you here. Anyway, we're off track. So
you had something to say about the hospital fight? That wrapping up?
Hospital fight. Oh, you said that Kolchak is smug. He's smug throughout that whole movie, man. What are you talking about? He always thinks he's right. Always.
That's right, but like even in this scene, like it's just dialed up. Like it's not just smug like, oh, I'm pulling one over on these guys. It's smug as like, I'm really sticking it to him here. But like he needs their cooperation in order to go forward with the investigation. it just seemed it seemed weird to me that Kolchak wasn't at least a little bit trying to play it to his side. You know what I mean?
I mean, the
'Cause,
guy
like,
did tell him to
he's
shut up
fully
and sit
convinced
down.
now that there's a vampire. You know what I mean? Like, he's fully convinced in this scene that there is a vampire, real,
Mhm.
living,
Yeah.
breathing vampire. And like it just doesn't track because like he's trying to get the truth out. He's trying to, in some small way, like protect other people from becoming victims. And he's just sitting here like, yeah.
Yeah, he
Like
doesn't.
you gotta play by my rules. You know?
Yeah, oh yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. He always comes off kind of on the fence of does he actually care or is it just all
Yeah.
about himself? You know, when it comes down to it, he's always like, "Oh, the people need to know, the people need to know." But I don't know. I think he just wants
He
that
wants the
story.
byline.
Yeah, he just wants
He
to
wants
he wants to be back in New York, writing for the
yeah.
big papers.
Which is that's like the big motivation. I don't think it comes across as well in the book as in the film, because the film kind of spells it out pretty explicitly in the conversations he has with Vincenzo, is
Mhm.
that Kolchak is a one-time contender. Like he had his opportunity to be a big shot reporter for real,
Yeah.
but then it kind of slips through his fingers, and he just ends up landing in Nowheresville, Las Vegas, like just a little podunk paper. And that like he could have been, he's like always forgets, like, man, I could have done it big, but like his
Yeah.
personality, like he's always driving. He can't play the political angle of being a newspaper man. So it's like his drive is always going to put him on the bottom because the guys at the top are always just going to smack him down again.
Yeah. Oh, I remember. Okay, this part. This part is what I want to talk about. I really like in the book how he has a network of people. Because you
Yeah,
mentioned that the guy he goes to the casino in the movie, goes to the casino and has him find the realtor or whatever. But in the book, there's a whole network of people. He even
yeah,
has the part where they're doing the research and like there's 6 people over all these different walks of life, and everyone is very like they're at the bottom. They're like him, just in different aspects of their lives, you know? Like
yeah. A lot of college students. And,
yeah, exactly. And I really liked that in the book. I like that aspect. Instead of it just being in the movie, it's just pretty much him figuring it all out. He does it all by himself, which is something you said that you kind of like that Richard Madison did, is that they made him the vehicle for how the story moves forward.
yeah, he's at
But
least on scene when the action is happening instead of hearing it secondhand later,
mhm,
which makes sense for the type of book it is, where it is that pseudo crime fiction, because like a real life crime reporter is not going to be at the scene of the crime.
yeah.
It will not happen. But like for the film, like you kind of like stretch the limits of the imagination, like kind of put him on scene when the
Mhm.
things are happening. Which
Um,
like even in the book, like there's these whole like paragraph long sections where he's negotiating hourly rates for his different contacts. And like that could have been shortened down a little bit. You know, we could have done without that.
I just totally agree. I think it was totally everything about it was so charming the way that they wrote the book. I really liked it, and it it didn't make me like the movie any less. I just
No,
equally liked them. I just thought that this was 2 great versions of this story.
oh yeah. So you want to go ahead and get into the haunted house? We'll
The
go over
haunted
there.
house.
In the book. It's a bunker. It's made out of concrete and cinder block. It's just a very simple Las Vegas residence. Same as you'd see
Mhm,
on any street. It just happens to be like kind of off in a secluded place.
mhm.
The film is like no. We're filming in a haunted house. This is
Oh yeah.
dilapidated
Okay.
2-story with a cellar, and like the whole
Yeah.
boards over the windows, the whole bit. So Kolchak, he wheels up, and if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss it. But in the narration, he says that he's given orders to one of his contacts to wait 30 minutes and then call his buddy at the FBI to follow him, because Kolchak wants to get to the house first so that he has a chance to look at the different pieces of evidence to get his story before the authorities kind of get in and meddle with things and change it so that the truth can't be found out.
Yeah, and I think he was telling them that they can't attack him at night. He's too strong, and he was afraid that if they told him right away, all the cops would come at night, and then the
Yeah,
vampire would get away.
yeah, he just vanished and reappears somewhere later where he can't be gotten at, and the story disappears. Kolchak, he's poking around. He finds a disguise kit. There's blood in the refrigerator that was stolen from the hospital. He lifts open the lid on a coffin and it's full of dirt. He's looking at that. Oh, this is weird. He goes upstairs and he's looking in a room and he finds the fifth victim, the woman that had the dog that got killed. That's her. And she's hooked up to an IV drip, which in the book, it's like glucose or whatever. In the film, it just looks like blood. So that's kind of a weird thing. Like in the film, it looks like as if the vampire is stealing blood to put into a victim, just to eat the blood out of it. It looks like a weird circuitous thing in the film, but whatever. Kolchak's gonna help her. He's gonna untie her feet and get her out of there. But then Skorzeny comes home. He's been out prowling around. The cops have, in the book, the cops sort of were already on the trail of Skorzeny. They were kind of, pushing him in. Mm-hmm. In the film, that's not stated. So anyway, Skorzeny, he comes home and he's creeping up the stairs, and Kolchak's like, "Oh no! I gotta get out of this place." And that's where it fades to black on that. And I'll just go ahead and do the next bit up till a certain point because it all flows together. Kolchak, he's like, he has to retie the knots on this woman to make it look like nobody's been here because he doesn't want to get found out with Skorzeny in the room. He goes and he hides in the closet. And this is the moments I love out of Kolchak the most, especially in like the TV show, are these silent moments where Kolchak has to like hold his breath and hide from the monster.
Yeah.
Like it's always the most nerve-wracking thing because Darren McGavin has the most panic-stricken look on his face when all this is going on. He really sells it. But it's to no avail because Skorzeny, he kicks that door open like he's the Kool-Aid man. He says, "Surprise!" And Kolchak's been found out. He whips out a crucifix. He holds up to Skorzeny. There's a Scooby-Doo chase around the haunted mansion.
Yeah.
And Kolchak's a goner. But he called his FBI buddy, Jinx. Jinx burst in. There's a little bit of roughhousing. There's a gunfight where Kolchak just unloads on Skorzeny, and we see firsthand how impervious he is to bullets. But the sun is coming up. Kolchak rips the curtains off the windows. Full face of sun on Skorzeny. I was blinded. I was watching that when they showed the picture of the sun. I was like, "Oh, man, let's not have this." They corner him on a stairwell. Jinx is holding Skorzeny down by using the crucifix, and Kolchak, he takes the stake and he pounds it in Skorzeny's chest, killing the vampire just as the police come in.
Mm-hmm. I gotta say, I like the climax of the book better.
There's certain elements of the book that were, it had more action to it. It's a little bit more drive in the slower parts.
Well, I really like it because it shows that there truly is the corruption and conspiracy of the people that are in charge in Las Vegas. Yeah. Like in the movie, he's leading the charge once again. It's his fault that he's there. He puts himself in a position to where he is killing the vampire by himself. In the book, they have it set up. They're all there together, all at the same time. And they go in, and when they have the vampire cornered in a closet, kind of the opposite. And he's pretty much dying. One of the police, I forget it was the county or the local.
Just go ahead. It doesn't matter. It's one of the authorities, but
they were like, "This is all right, Kolchak, this is it. You got to stab him. You're the one this is your whole deal. So you got to do it." And he doesn't want to do it. But this guy is like kind of like, "You got to do it. You got to take this guy out. You got to kill this vampire." So he kind of forces him. He kind of tricks him into doing it, Yeah.
It's a setup.
It was the plan all along. They're getting rid of Kolchak. They're getting they've set him up. But in the movie, he kind of does it to himself.
Yeah, which in the film, that's kind of like Kolchak's whole life. You know what I mean? Summed up in that moment. Like he's got all this drive, but it's ultimately his undoing because he's not going to share in the byline. He's not going to risk this information getting out to swoop in on his story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that arrogance that ultimately ends up being his undoing. Like you say, he sets himself up for the fall just because that's who Kolchak is. Like he's always going to undermine himself. at the end of the day.
That's so true. And that's what I'm saying about this is like they're both great. They're both like wonderful. Like wonderful endings. The book and the movie, I just how you can make the same story and different and make them good is
Yeah, because it's one of those like in the book at the point of that scene where Kolchak kills the vampire, like it's unstated, but like it's pretty clear that all the authorities have said like, okay, Kolchak is right. There really is a vampire.
yeah.
And it has to be dealt with. But they're still in that political mindset. They're like, but Kolchak's a lot of trouble to deal with. So we'll set this up so we can get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
The film has that sting at the end where Kolchak is saying like they cremated all the bodies. And that's supposed to be your clue in that the authorities believe there is a real vampire, but it's still a little bit open-ended as to whether or not they think that Kolchak was right or not. Like they know Kolchak killed a killer, so they're not really going to hold him accountable to that. But I'm not sure they really believe that there was a vampire. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, at the end of the book, they kill everyone involved.
Oh yeah. There's this whole bit like accidental deaths and all
right.
that.
They kill the nurse that saw him stealing the blood at the hospital. They kill Bernie. They kill the FBI guy. And then they because Kolchak moves to California, and then it's insinuated that he got wind that they were after him, and he disappears in the wind. So he's still out there somewhere.
Still out there somewhere solving crimes, working on Hollywood movie scripts for deadbeats. That intro where Jeff Rice is like, yeah, I met Kolchak in like some shady office in Hollywood. He was just hanging around for some odd reason. Yeah, okay, I guess that's where he would end up if he moved west. You know what I mean? Like, where else is he gonna go if he shows his name on a newspaper byline ever again? Like he's done for. Like he's
right. Yeah, because they'll find him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was great. The book had, let's see, some of my notes that I didn't mention. I like how they had lots of the true crime correlations between the real serial killers and the vampire. They're like, here's these facts about real serial killers, and they're in relation to what this vampire is doing. I thought that was kind of cool. It made it more realistic.
Oh yeah, especially with that whole addendum, that appendix at the end, which is really just Jeff Rice giving himself a moment to nerd out about Jack the Ripper.
Yeah,
yeah. It's especially funny considering what the pilot episode of the TV show is. You know what I mean?
The vampire?
No, the pilot episode of the TV show was Jack the Ripper.
Was it?
Yeah. It was. Here's the skinny on it. It was this movie truncated to 45 minutes about Jack the Ripper instead of a vampire.
Oh.
Because it has that scene where he's going through the house and has to hide in the closet.
Oh, yeah, you're right. The Ripper, yep. You are totally right.
Yeah.
Oh, the vampire was episode 3.
Mm-hmm. He goes back to Vegas.
Yeah. Good job, Levi. You did your homework.
We'll just quickly run through like the rest of the movie after he gets to the police. Kolchak is on top of the world. He's got a story. He's going to be a big shot. He proposes to Gail, his girlfriend, and she doesn't seem overly enthusiastic about it, but Kolchak's on cloud 9, so he doesn't care. He turns his story into Vincenzo, and Vincenzo, in an odd, out-of-character moment, is really respectful towards Kolchak. He says, Kolchak, you're one hell of a reporter. And Kolchak's like, well, thanks. And then he scoots off because he's been told he's got to go to a meeting at the DA's office. Gets to the DA's office. They're like, Kolchak, we're framing you for murder. So you can either get out of town or go to prison.
Mm-hmm.
You might claim insanity, but we'll still lock you up anyways, and then you'll never get out. Kolchak, he leaves. In the ending narration, he says he keeps trying to find his girlfriend Gail through newspaper articles. That's what I'm looking for. Anyways, he keeps advertising to try and find his girlfriend Gail, but she can't be found because she's been run out of town too.
Oh, personals.
Personal ads, columns. Yeah. And there it ends. And Kolchak says, "Hey, take it for what it is. Believe it or not." Yeah, that's what it is. Which I think that's a better ending than the book. Which it's very similar, but like I say, that part where his girlfriend's run out of town too, like his life is totally demolished down to ground zero. I think fits a little bit better than what the book does, where he's just like, he kind of like mulls around a little bit, says, "Hey, could you sell my furniture and
So
save me
much stuff.
money?
Yeah.
Hey, here's some library books I got to return. Would you take care of these?"
Yeah.
The ending kind of drags a little bit. Like he has 3 farewell dinners with his girlfriend before he actually gets out of town. Like the pressure like does not seem there to move on.
I guess.
But like I said, he proposes, and as he's leaving the apartment, like the look on her face when the door closes, didn't that seem really weird?
I don't remember.
Like
what was the look?
Like I can't replicate it, but like they're bubbly and happy, and he leaves, and the door closes, and she turns around, and she has this worried expression on her face, which for the audience is, I guess, it's supposed to be some sort of like portent of doom. Because then like immediately moves in, like Vincenzo's being really nice to him, and that's weird. So like something bad must be coming down the pipes to lead into when he's pushed out of town, right? It's all set up to like get you prepared for Kolchak. The boom drops on him, but like in character in the scene, it just looks like, oh, she's not happy about being proposed to by Kolchak, which could color how you see the ending, saying like, oh, she's not happy. She's just not responding to his advertisements.
Yeah.
He's the one that doesn't want to get back with Kolchak. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe.
It's just a weird look to give in that moment if you're trying to sell that. Like, oh, yeah, they're in a happy moment. They're going to move to New York, the whole thing.
Maybe she's been insightful throughout the entire movie. Maybe they're just showing that she still knows what's going on. She was right.
She might have the inside track on that. No, she might have heard from somebody that Kolchak's gonna, get run out. But I don't know. She might have already been told to get out of town, because when he's in the meeting, like it couldn't have been more than an hour later.
Right.
Like they say she's already gone. So maybe she already knows and just isn't saying.
Yeah, pop it on screen, man.
What, this one?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, he isn't much of a catch. He'll set up a destination wedding and go hunting for a Yeti during the bachelor party. I mean, yeah. Well, that's not it. It's one of the best television movies, bar none. I mean, it still is. At the time it was, today it still is.
Yeah, it was the most watched one. I know that. But it's definitely the best.
Oh, yeah. What does it say on the cover? What it said. Let's see. In the book, 75 million viewers for the premiere of a television movie. That's wild.
I like those old TV movies because I like imagining the world at that time and being like, this is what you looked forward to. And if you wanted to watch this, your ass had to be home at 8 p.m.
Oh, yeah. I like this. Watching old movies, for me, it's like, it's sometimes easier than watching a contemporary movie, because like if you made this today, I wouldn't be interested. I would like, whatever. But because it's the 70s, it's almost like it's a different planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just similar enough to like I can understand what's happening, but it looks so wildly different that it's like a fantasy at that point. You know, you can just kind of sit in and watch.
Oh yeah. Anytime that there's no internet and no cell phones, it seems like a completely different world.
Oh yeah.
Newspapers, people could have a job at the newspaper. Not crazy.
You could be just a crime reporter without having to do anything else.
There's probably a bunch of them.
So I got a few bits of trivia on some of the cast here.
All right.
Ralph Meeker, who played the FBI agent, Bernie Jenks, he and Darren McGavin both played Mike Hammer. Mickey explains Mike Hammer at different points.
When did Darren McGavin play Mike Hammer?
Darren McGavin played Mike Hammer for the 1958 television series Mike Hammer.
No way.
And I've seen an episode of it. He does pretty good. I don't know how it compares to the novels so much, but it's a pretty stand-up detective show. Ralph Meeker.
Can't imagine how that dude is so small. Mike Hammer's like a big tough guy.
Supposed to. Well, Mickey Spillane played Mike Hammer in one of the
Yeah, but
films.
Mickey
So,
Spillane, at least, I mean, he's at least boxy.
yeah. But anyways, Ralph Meador played Mike Hammer in 1955's Kiss Me Deadly. So,
Did he really?
yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
So I have one here. Where did I put the note? Claude Akins, who played the sheriff of Clark County. He and the vampire Scoresby, played by Barry Atwater, appeared on a television show previous to this. Can you guess what it is? Just
What
take a
year is
wild
it?
guess. It
1970.
was a show that was on air in the 1960s. I'll tell you that much.
Is it I Dream of Jeannie?
Close. I have something about that in a minute. It was Twilight Zone. The monsters are due on Maple Street. Barry Atwater played the new neighbor because he's got that. He has the bit where it's like, I don't sleep well at night sometimes, so I get up, I go out, I take a walk, I look up at the stars. Is the so they appear on screen together.
That's
Which
right.
Claude Akins, I'm glad to watch him in anything. Carol Lindley, who played Kolchak's girlfriend Gail, was in the same year as this movie came out. She was in another film, Beware the Blob, which is the sequel to the 1950s The Blob, which was directed by Larry Hagman, who played Lieutenant Nelson on I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, so, man.
Your psychic connection was just a step off.
Yeah, I got the insight, man. Interesting.
Simon Oakland, who played Vincenzo, he and Carol Lindley were both in the same film previous to this called Crosswired in 1971.
I don't know that one. What's that one?
I don't know either. They were in the same movie really close to this one, so I thought it was notable. Dan Curtis, the producer, has said that this film cost $450,000 to make and was filmed in 12 days, which is not an industry record, but it's a pretty truncated piece of time.
Yeah.
So that's just 2 6-day weeks, really, to get everything shot. I guess they were in Las Vegas filming this. I don't imagine they were in Los Angeles and just filmed certain. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like, well, I guess all the interior shots could have been done in Los Angeles. But yeah, they were definitely outside in Las Vegas a lot.
Oh, yeah. Charles McGraw, who, let's see, that was the commissioner of police. He was in the 1960 film Spartacus and the 1963 film The Birds, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. And I mentioned this one because I know my parents will be interested. He was in 2 episodes of the James Garner television series Nichols, which is a pretty good show if you haven't seen it.
No, what's Nichols?
Nichols is James Garner is forced into being the sheriff of a small western town, roughly 1910s. It's in the age of like early motor cars and motorcycles, this sort of thing. It's the turn of the century type of cowboy show. Just right before World War I is when it's set, just like right before that happens. John Llewellyn Moxey, who directed the Kolchak movie, he directed the movie City of the Dead in 1960 that starred Christopher Lee.
I love that.
I also mentioned this one because my parents will think this is funny. He directed several episodes of the television series The Edgar Wallace Mystery Theater.
Why will they think that's funny?
That's my father's name.
Oh, okay.
The writer of this, Richard Matheson, he had a habit of writing the screenplays to his own novels. So he wrote the novel I Am Legend. He also wrote the film version, Last Man on Earth. He wrote the short story Duel, which was published in Playboy magazine. He wrote the script for the television movie Duel. He also wrote the scripts for several of the Roger Corman, Edgar Allan Poe movies. Those old Vincent Price films.
Interesting. I love City of the Dead. That's one of my favorite movies. You ever seen it?
I've seen the first 5 minutes, and then I had to go do something else, and I never came back to it.
It's like a old like a witchcraft Satanist cult movie with Christopher Lee, but it is beautiful. It's a beautiful black and white movie. Like the contrast in it is incredible. Like I don't know what the difference is, how they did it, but it's a gorgeous movie. Yeah, see? City of the Dead rocks. I think I told Jake to watch that.
Apparently he has.
Um,
Let's see. Jeff is asking us, do you guys have Mark Dawidziak's
say it right. Come on,
book?
Levi.
That's two.
Dawidzatsk. No, what is it? What is it, Jeff?
Polish. I've not heard of that.
No, Kolchak is not sci-fi. Sorry to let you all down. Bait and switch.
Let's see. We got a message here. Secret Fry Books. On a scale of Edward Cullen to Count Orlok, how cool are the vampires in this?
What's Edward Cullen?
That's the Twilight films.
Oh.
Yeah.
How cool are the I mean,
if you've seen Martin Landau from the Mission Impossible TV series as a vampire, that's what this vampire looks like. You know what I mean? Like, did you see that? Because every time I saw him on screen, like, that's Martin Landau, and then we close in on him. I'm like, okay, never mind.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. All I can think of when I think of Martin Landau is in the Plan 9, the Ed Wood.
Ed Wood.
Yeah, I love his Bela Lugosi.
Oh yeah, because that was the Ed Wood movie, the Johnny Depp.
Tim Burton movie. Yeah.
This is probably not true anymore, but there's constantly rumors circulating that they're going to make a Kolchak movie and it's going to star Johnny Depp. Like all kinds of stuff.
No,
I can't imagine. That's one of the questions I want to ask you. Like, if you were to recast Kolchak as either a movie or a TV show, who are you putting in that lead role? Because I have two options.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering.
That's hard because do I want the book Kolchak or another or Darren McGavin Kolchak? You know?
Yeah.
Because
I know I'm going to go with the Darren McGavin. But,
right, but I really like this. He said he has the body of an ex heavyweight, like he has the physique of an ex boxer. So he's like big and he's slow moving, and he's lazy.
He's more like
he
a
even
Polish.
says in the book that he's lazy.
Yeah,
he's the opposite of movie Kolchak.
Yeah.
So do I want that or I don't know. You know, the problem is I don't know any new actors, so I couldn't tell you. Like who? I don't know. Who do you say? Who do you say?
Well, hold on. I'm gonna put this up. Rowan Atkinson, what it says. Close to my guess. I have two. My first one I think is the more obvious choice, which would be Bryan Cranston. You know, as a more Darren McGavin type of Kolchak.
Oh yeah, that is good.
My one problem with that would be that in the scenes where Kolchak has to be afraid of the creature, Cranston is just too funny. You know what I mean? Like he would do like the girlish scream he had like in Malcolm in the Middle, and like necessarily be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my second choice is Sam Jackson, sort of like a mid-career Samuel L. Jackson to play Kolchak. You know what I mean? Because he's got that push. No, think about it. Because he can push people's buttons and be a nuisance without realizing that he's doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. He can play that sort of like smarmy kind of nuisance kind of character, I think.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, you didn't pick new actors.
He probably have to be called something other than Kolchak, but you know.
I think that. Oh man, I have no idea what his name is. It's like Sam Rockwell, maybe. Is that his name? That actor.
Yeah, because he played in. I know Sam Rockwell from Iron Man 2. He played Justin Hammer. He's the villain in that one, other than Luke.
I don't know Iron Man 2. He was in, I think he was on some movie where he's on the moon. He's all by himself. I don't know. That guy. That guy would be good. I keep picturing it as like a funny role, I guess. So it's hard for me to. I'm like, who would play it straight?
Yeah, it's tough because like there is a lot of comedy in the Kolchak movies and series, but then like when he gets down to business, I was like, okay, we're gonna like shut the music down, be very atmospheric, just play straight.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff said? William H. Macy. That would be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It'd be hard to find somebody who could do that because, like, it really is just Darren McGavin.
Yeah,
It's a little bit of him just being himself on screen to play Kolchak.
mm-hmm. I don't know. I can't think of anyone else. I saw that they remade it in 2005. Did you see that?
There was a short-lived television series trying to capitalize on the success of shows like X-Files and its derivatives, where it's Kolchak in name only, really, because he's got a completely different modus operandi for what he's doing. It really doesn't fit.
Oh, I'd never even heard of it.
Yeah, I've not seen it. I do know a little bit about it from different places. It's not in the same vein as the 70s Kolchak. They tried to update it, and did too much. You know.
Yeah, Jeff says that the 2005 series sucks.
I don't know how it could be good. You know what I mean? Like, just what they were doing on television at that time. I don't know how you could make it work in that context. Because, like, Lost had just come on. Everybody's trying to do that.
Yeah.
X-Files was still going in 2005, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
Or it just wrapped up?
I don't know. I missed it the first
long
time because I was out partying. So I caught up on the X-Files later in life. I was around while it was around, though. They gave him a hot reporter sidekick. Yeah, that sounds terrible. I just don't think you can. I don't think you could redo it because the made-for-TV movie is different. It's not how they made movies, and they just don't make that kind of thing anymore.
No,
except for maybe like the Christmas Lifetime specials. Those are kind of like made-for-TV movies.
I would love to see Kolchak show up in like a Hallmark movie, just apropos of nothing. He just shows up on the scene.
Yeah.
And so, like, you got like your typical holiday romance, but like if you're in the background, if you're paying attention, here's Kolchak doing his bit, and there's like a Yeti rolling through the town, or an evil snowman or whatever. You
know? Dude, write it. True calling.
Oh, but yeah, getting back to the movie for a second, they made this movie 3 times essentially, because it's here. The Night Strangler is pretty much beat for beat exactly this movie, except it's in Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, Seattle. Yeah.
And then the pilot episode of the TV show
Strangler
is a lot this movie too. It's pretty much this movie truncated down to a shorter runtime.
Yeah, I mean it's got different plots.
Yeah,
it's a little different.
One thing I like about the sequel, though, I really like, is that Kolchak and Vincenzo are more cooperative. Like, they're still butting heads and stuff, but like they're a little bit more on the same page for having been through the Las Vegas stuff.
Right, because they were both kicked out.
Yeah, Vincenzo a little bit later, just because it was convenient to push him out a little bit.
I love the Vincenzo character in the movies.
Oh,
I love that guy is so great, and in the TV show too.
He really makes it what it is. Like, without him, without the big bellowing guy, like, it just wouldn't work out.
No. I think usually when I go to watch one of the Kolchak movies, I think I like the Night Strangler better.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. I like his the lady, the belly dancer. Have you seen this one?
No, yeah, I've seen it a couple times.
Yeah, I like the whole belly dancing thing where she's kind of like him, and then they just kind of start hanging out together. And I think that Jeff Rice wrote a book of Night Strangler too. Yeah,
I think so. Because the movie came out. Night Strangler was in 1973, and then I think Jeff Rice wrote the novelization of that.
Right, but the first Night Strangler was an unpublished novel first, right?
Night Stalker was unpublished.
Yeah. We didn't mention that.
Yeah,
because it was an unpublished novel that he had just. Was it even finished? I thought it was like not even finished. Was it just?
I don't think it was finished because I can't find anything online about Jeff Rice's career
Mhm.
in Hollywood. But the back of the book here says that he had done some Hollywood work before this book was published,
Hmm.
or before the movie came out. So I don't know what that is, but like apparently he was shopping around uh, his book for possible movie treatments or whatever. But anyways, it
Hmm.
got picked up. It got sent to the producer Dan Curtis, and he was a little reluctant at first, but he's like, "Okay, I'll do it because like this is really good." And the way he
And
says it, like they had no one else in mind to play Kolchak other than Darren McGavin. They just automatically went to him.
that's awesome. And Dan Curtis did Dark Shadows,
Yeah, Dark Shadows.
so he
He
already
did a
knew his
bunch.
vampires.
Oh yeah, he. I watched an interview of him, and he was talking about like right before he did the Kolchak stuff. He was like, "Yeah, I'd been there. I've been at the studio, and I'd done Dark Shadows and blah blah, blah all this." It's like I was done. I was going to get out of television, and then they brought this over. I'm like, "Okay, I'm back here."
Well, I mean, it's not really television though. It was a movie. 12
Oh
days.
yeah,
That's crazy.
oh yeah, they could have played this in theaters. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And like maybe it wouldn't have made as big a splash as like a regular theatrical movie. Like it definitely gained momentum by being the most watched television movie.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But it still would have found its audience and have gone on to do something. And something would have happened wherever it was played.
Yeah. I think I heard that you would assume that this would be on in like October or something, but I think I heard that it like came out in like January or something. Like it was like a
Yeah,
weird time. It's not like a horror thing.
it premiered January 11th.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
events of the film take place in May.
Right.
Oh, that's another thing. The film. See, I made a note of it somewhere. Just a second. The film truncates the amount of time that the vampire is killing. Where am I? Yeah, because the opening narration says the events take place between May 16th and May 28th, whereas in the book it's over a month that everything's going on. Which I don't know why you would need to change that, but I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just that's a weird detail to change when it really doesn't matter. You know?
Maybe they just wanted to get that momentum going faster.
I guess they thought like in everybody's minds, like if it took place over a couple weeks, that would be better than over the space of a month.
Mhm.
But then again, the movie is more about the spectacle of watching Kolchak run his gears and find out what's going on. Like there's a lot of watching him drive and figure out what's going to happen. The book tries to get a little bit into the general paranoia of having a killer loose on the streets because it's trying to do Jack the Ripper in Las Vegas,
Mhm.
which takes place over like a long extended period. I don't know that it necessarily came out as strongly as Jeff Rice might have wanted it to, but like he's trying to get at a little bit of like the city is on edge kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's that big part about Jack the Ripper at the ending, but I didn't make the the correlation that he's writing Jack the Ripper here.
Oh yeah, it's
Then now you say it, it's like, duh, dude, duh. It's even right there in the book.
yeah, just
I'm
all the
sorry.
points. Is like he's trying to like here's Jack the Ripper, but like he's got to gimmick it. Like he can't
Mhm.
just here's a book about a serial killer in Las Vegas, and he's like, well, tell me another one. You know what I mean?
Maybe he was telling us that Jack the Ripper was a vampire.
Maybe.
Maybe
I mean,
that's
that's
his
definitely
theory.
the case in the show.
Mhm.
They don't call him a vampire in the show, but like that's generally like Jack the Ripper shows up every what 40 years to kill somebody or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is. But yeah, do you think the book? This is getting kind of into the weeds, but did the book say when Skorzeny became a vampire? Because the way it's written, it's like it's almost as if he always was a vampire, but
Mhm.
that can't possibly be the case. But you know,
I mean, yeah. I mean, they had his age, but he could have just made it
yeah,
up. He had all the fake IDs and stuff.
true.
He
Well,
just said,
yeah,
yeah,
because it says his father died and left everything to him. Like maybe there was no father. Like you know what I mean? Like it's just a count. He's
yeah,
just taking the whole thing up the chain. Yeah,
right. Until he ran into Carl Kolchak.
yeah. that one pesky reporter undid centuries
Thousands.
of work. But it's kind of this is a parallel with the novel Dracula. Is that like once the vampire gets introduced to the modern world, he's done for. Because like in Dracula, like in Transylvania, he's king, like he's untouchable. But the thing is that people have learned to deal with him. So aside from a few casualties, they're untouchable because they just know how to operate with him around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why Dracula goes to England. So he has fresh victims who have no idea what he is. But with all these scientific advancements in England, they're able to like use Sherlock deduction and like figure out like where Dracula's hiding and how to deal with him and all this stuff. And like his goose is cooked the minute he gets off the boat.
Mm-hmm.
That's a part of the novel Dracula. Like in here, it's like Las Vegas is the modern world. So it's the minute Skorzeny sets foot in Las Vegas, he's done. It's like Kolchak is going to get him. Like he's going to use all his contacts, every ounce of his being, to put this guy behind Mars to get that story.
Yeah, that's some good insight there.
I stole that. I didn't. That's not original to me. That's Stephen King. He said that.
Get out of here, dude.
Stephen King.
You just said that like you just made it up, man.
Stephen King, before he wrote the book Salem's Lot, he says he was at a dinner party and somehow the question got brought up like, what would happen if Dracula was in New York? And somebody joked around and said like he'd try to cross Fifth Avenue and get hit by a cab. And then Stephen King goes on and he writes Salem's Lot and the whole bit.
Oh, interesting.
I had you going. You thought I was intelligent for
I did. Yeah.
I just waste my time reading old interviews by authors that haven't written anything relevant in 20 years.
We just keep talking to people like me who don't know anything. We're going to be really impressed.
Well, I'm at the end of it. Is there anything more you want to add? What do you got coming up on your channel? Anything like that?
I'm just Pulp Fest, man. Why aren't you going?
Oh, yeah.
What's your problem?
It's just way out there.
It's not. It's a couple more hours than me. You can drive there.
I'll catch you the next go around.
Yeah, we're going to Pulp Fest. We're going to party it up.
That's next week, starting on the 7th, isn't it?
Yeah, it starts on Thursday, but I won't get there until Friday, and then then Saturday all day, party time.
Yeah, and you are selling the official Pulp Fest shirts, right?
I am selling the official Pulp Fest shirts. Yes, they're on my website, on my screen printing business website.
All right, right on, man. I have nothing special planned for the future, and I haven't posted anything in a month, so don't look for it next week either. Let's get out of here. Later, everybody. Man.